Learn English through the wisdom of others and their stories. Napoleon Hill, Level 1, Beginner Edition. Quote, "A goal is a dream with a deadline." Napoleon Hill was born in the year 1883. He was born in a small wooden cabin in the mountains of Virginia in the United States. The cabin was simple. It had very little space. There was no electricity. There was no running water. Life in the mountains was quiet, but it was not easy. The people in that area worked very hard every day. Most families were farmers. They grew their own food. They built their own fences. They repaired their own homes. There were no large stores. There were no big schools. Travel was slow and difficult. If you were born in that place, many people believed you would stay there forever. Napoleon's family did not have much money. His father worked hard, but the income was small. His mother tried to care for the family with love and patience. Napoleon loved his mother deeply. She was kind and gentle. She encouraged him to behave well and to think about his future. When Napoleon was 10 years old, his mother became sick. Soon after, she died. This was one of the most painful moments of his childhood. He felt sadness that he did not know how to explain. He felt anger that he did not know how to control. He felt confused about life. After his mother passed away, Napoleon changed. For a time, he became difficult. He argued. He acted without thinking. He did not see a clear future for himself. In a small mountain town, it was easy to believe that nothing would ever change. Many boys in his town grew up and became farmers like their fathers. They worked hard, but their lives did not look very different from the generation before them. Dreams were small. Expectations were simple. But Napoleon's life was about to change again. Sometime after his mother's death, his father married another woman. Napoleon's stepmother was strong and intelligent. She believed deeply in education. She believed that knowledge could change a person's life. She believed that the mind was more powerful than the mountains around them. She did not see Napoleon as a troubled boy. She saw potential in him. She spoke to him seriously. She told him that he could become someone important if he trained his mind. She placed books in his hands. At first, Napoleon did not enjoy reading. He wanted to spend time outside. He wanted to escape his sadness. But his stepmother continued encouraging him. Every evening, she asked him to read a few pages. Then she asked him questions. "What did you learn?" she would ask. "What did this person do to succeed?" Slowly, reading became a habit. Napoleon began reading stories about inventors. He read about leaders. He read about people who failed many times before they succeeded. These stories surprised him. He learned that successful people were not always born rich. Many started poor. Many faced rejection. Many felt fear. This gave him hope. He began to think differently. Instead of saying, "I am poor," he began to ask, "What can I learn?" Instead of thinking, "My future is small," he began to wonder, "What if I try something bigger?" This change in thinking was very important. As he grew older, Napoleon wanted to earn money. He needed to help his family. He found work as a newspaper reporter. He was still young, but he was curious and brave. The job required him to interview adults. He had to speak clearly. He had to listen carefully. At first, he felt nervous when speaking to important people. But with practice, he became more confident. He learned how to ask simple questions. He learned how to write clear stories. Most importantly, he learned how successful people think. He noticed something interesting. Successful people did not only talk about today. They talked about the future. They had plans. They had clear goals. They knew what they wanted to build. This observation stayed in his mind. One day, he received an assignment that would change his life. He was asked to interview Andrew Carnegie. Carnegie was one of the richest men in America at that time. He owned large steel companies. Many people respected him. Many people feared him. Napoleon felt both excited and afraid. He was still young. He had never spoken to someone so powerful. When he met Carnegie, he expected a short interview. Instead, their conversation lasted much longer. Carnegie did not only answer questions. He asked questions. What do you want to do with your life? Carnegie asked. Napoleon did not have a clear answer. He had dreams, but they were not clear dreams. They had no shape. They had no deadline. Carnegie then shared a powerful idea. He believed that success was not luck. He believed that successful people followed certain principles. He believed that if someone studied those principles carefully, they could teach others how to succeed. Then Carnegie offered Napoleon a challenge. He asked him to spend many years studying successful people. He would need to interview hundreds of leaders, business owners, and inventors. He would need to discover the patterns in their thinking and behavior. There would be no payment at the beginning. There would be no guarantee of success. It was a risky decision. Napoleon had to choose. He could return to a simple life. Or he could accept a long and difficult mission. He chose the mission. This decision was one of the most important moments in his life. Over the next years, Napoleon traveled across the country. Travel was not easy in those days. Trains were slow. Hotels were simple. Sometimes he did not have enough money. Sometimes he felt tired and discouraged. But he remembered his goal. He wanted to understand success. He interviewed business leaders. He interviewed inventors. He interviewed entrepreneurs. He asked them about their early failures. He asked them how they made decisions. He asked them how they felt when they were afraid. After many interviews, he noticed something very important. Almost every successful person had a clear goal. They did not say, "I hope something good will happen." They said, "I will build this company." They said, "I will reach this result by this year." They attached time to their dreams. This idea became clear in Napoleon's mind. A dream without a deadline often stays a dream. It feels good. It gives hope. But it does not always create action. When you add a deadline, something changes. You begin planning. You begin working differently. You begin measuring progress. This is why Napoleon later said, "A goal is a dream with a deadline." This simple sentence carried deep meaning. He continued his research for more than 20 years. Many people would have quit. But he did not quit. He believed that his work would help others. He learned that success begins in the mind. If you believe something is possible, you are more likely to try. If you believe something is impossible, you stop before you begin. He also learned that small daily actions are powerful. Success is not usually one big action. It is many small actions repeated every day. A person who studies a little every day improves slowly but steadily. A person who saves a small amount every week builds savings over time. A person who practices a skill daily becomes better month after month. Napoleon understood that patience is important. He also learned about fear. Successful people feel fear too. They feel doubt. They feel uncertainty. The difference is that they act anyway. They do not wait for fear to disappear. They move forward step by step. This was the foundation of his teaching. His journey from a small wooden cabin to becoming a well-known writer was not fast. It was not easy. But it was guided by a clear goal. And that goal changed his life. Napoleon Hill continued his research year after year. He did not stop when he felt tired. He did not stop when he felt discouraged. He believed that understanding success was worth the effort. During his travels, he met many different kinds of people. Some were factory owners. Some were inventors. Some were teachers. Some were leaders of large companies. Each person had a different story. Each person had faced different problems. But Napoleon kept noticing the same pattern. They all had clear goals. Some wanted to build a business. Some wanted to invent something new. Some wanted to improve their community. But they were clear about what they wanted. They were also clear about when they wanted to achieve it. Napoleon began writing these lessons down. He organized them carefully. He wanted to explain them in simple language. He realized that many people fail not because they are not intelligent, but because they are not clear. They do not choose one direction. They change their minds often. They start many things but finish few. Successful people were different. They chose one main goal. They stayed focused on it. They adjusted their plans when needed, but they did not abandon their purpose. Napoleon also learned about the importance of belief. If a person does not believe they can succeed, they will not try very hard. They may start, but they will stop at the first difficulty. Successful people believed in themselves, even when others doubted them. This belief was not magic. It was built through repetition. Many successful people spoke positive words to themselves every day. They reminded themselves of their goals. They imagined success in their minds. Napoleon began practicing this too. He wrote his goals on paper. He read them in the morning. He read them before sleeping. This helped him stay focused. He also learned about decision. Many people delay decisions. They wait. They hesitate. They say, "I will think about it." But time passes quickly. Successful people decide faster. They take action. If something does not work, they adjust. But they do not stay stuck in doubt. Napoleon noticed another pattern. Successful people worked hard. But they did not only work hard. They worked with direction. Working hard without direction can lead to frustration. But working with a clear plan creates progress. For example, imagine someone who wants to lose weight. If they only say, "I want to be healthier," that is not enough. But if they say, "I will walk every morning at 7 a.m. for 30 minutes, that is clear. Clear action leads to clear results. Napoleon also saw that failure was common among successful people. Many of them had failed many times before reaching success. But they did not see failure as the end. They saw it as information. They asked, "What can I learn from this?" They adjusted their plans and tried again. Napoleon himself experienced failure. Some of his early business projects did not succeed. Sometimes he did not have enough money. Sometimes he felt discouraged. But he returned to his goal. He reminded himself why he started. He wanted to understand the laws of success. He wanted to teach others. After many years of study, Napoleon organized his lessons into a book. In 1937, he published Think and Grow Rich. The book became popular because it was simple and practical. It did not promise magic. It explained clear steps. He wrote about desire. He wrote about belief. He wrote about planning. He wrote about persistence. People around the world read his book. Some changed their habits. Some improved their careers. Some started businesses. Some improved their education. His ideas helped people think differently. He often said that your mind is powerful. The way you think influences the way you act. If you think, I will fail, you may not try very hard. If you think, I can improve step by step, you are more likely to continue. Napoleon also believed in cooperation. He taught something called the mastermind principle. This means that when two or more people work together with the same goal, they become stronger. When people share ideas, they create new ideas. When people support each other, they feel more confident. For example, two students studying together may improve faster than one student alone. They encourage each other. They correct each other. They stay motivated. Napoleon believed that support increases success. He also spoke about responsibility. Blaming others does not improve your situation. Taking responsibility gives you power. If you say, this is not my fault, you give control to outside forces. If you say, I can improve this, you take control of your future. This does not mean life is always fair. It means you choose how to respond. As Napoleon grew older, he understood something important. Success is not only about money. Some people become rich but feel unhappy. Others live simple lives but feel proud and peaceful. True success includes growth, character, and purpose. Napoleon wanted people to improve their thinking, not only their income. He believed that each person has the ability to grow. It starts with a decision. It starts with choosing a goal. It starts with adding a deadline. Without a deadline, goals often become weak. With a deadline, they become strong. When you choose a date, you begin planning. You begin acting differently. You measure progress. This simple idea changed many lives. And it began with a boy from a small mountain cabin. After his book was published, Napoleon Hill became well known. Many people invited him to speak. He traveled to different cities. He stood in front of large groups of people. He shared the same simple message again and again. Decide what you want. Write it down. Choose a date. Take action every day. Do not quit. He did not promise magic. He did not say success would be easy. He said success requires direction and effort. When he spoke to young students, he asked them, "What do you want to become?" Many students answered quickly. Some said they wanted to be doctors. Some said they wanted to be teachers. Some said they wanted to start businesses. Then he asked another question. When will you achieve this goal? Many students became quiet. This showed him something important. Many people know what they want. But they do not decide when they want it. Without a deadline, a goal feels far away. It feels optional. Napoleon explained that a deadline gives power. A deadline creates urgency. A deadline makes your mind focus. For example, imagine you have an exam in 6 months. If you know the exact date, you begin planning. You divide your study time. You prepare step by step. But if you do not know the exam date, you may delay studying. Deadlines create action. Napoleon also talked about attitude. Life is not always easy. Problems appear. Plans fail. People criticize you. Sometimes you feel tired or discouraged. But attitude makes a difference. If you say, "This is too hard," you may stop. If you say, "This is difficult, but I can improve," you continue. He believed positive thinking does not mean ignoring problems. It means believing problems can be solved. Napoleon also spoke about environment. If you spend time with people who complain all the time, you may start complaining too. If you spend time with people who work hard and think positively, you may become stronger. That is why he taught the idea of working with others. He believed that 2 or more people working together toward the same goal can achieve more than one person alone. He called this the mastermind principle. When people share ideas, new ideas appear. When people support each other, motivation grows. Imagine 2 friends learning English together. They practice speaking. They correct mistakes. They encourage each other. Their progress becomes faster. Support makes goals easier to reach. Napoleon also believed in taking responsibility. Blaming others does not improve your life. Taking responsibility gives you control. If you say, "It is not my fault," you give power away. If you say, "I can improve this," you take power back. This mindset helps people grow. He also taught that success is not only about money. Money is useful. But true success includes character, discipline, and purpose. Some people become rich but feel unhappy. Some people live simple lives but feel proud and peaceful. Napoleon believed real success means becoming a better version of yourself. He often repeated that small actions matter. Reading a few pages each day. Saving a small amount each week. Practicing a skill every morning. These habits look small. But over time, they create change. Think about planting a tree. At first, it is small. It grows slowly. You may not notice the change every day. But after many months and years, it becomes strong and tall. Goals grow the same way. You must water them daily with action. Napoleon faced many challenges in his life. He experienced business failures. He faced financial problems. Some people criticized his ideas. Some people doubted him. But he returned to his goal each time. He remembered the challenge Carnegie gave him. He remembered his promise to study success. He remembered his desire to help others. That purpose gave him strength. As he grew older, he saw that his ideas were spreading across the world. People from different countries were reading his books. They were using goal-setting methods in schools and businesses. His simple message continued guiding people. Your beginning does not decide your ending. You may start in a small place. You may face sadness. You may feel fear. But if you choose a clear goal, if you attach a deadline, and if you work step by step, you create progress. You may not see results in 1 week. You may not see results in 1 month. But steady action creates steady growth. Napoleon Hill's life is proof of this. He started in a small wooden cabin. He lost his mother at a young age. He felt lost and confused. But he chose to learn. He chose to grow. He chose to accept a difficult mission. He studied success for 20 years. He turned his research into books. He influenced millions of people. His story is not only about the past. It is about today. What is your goal? Is it clear? Does it have a deadline? If not, you can change that now. Take a piece of paper. Write one sentence. I will achieve this goal by this date. Read it every morning. Read it every evening. Take one small action each day. When you feel tired, remember why you started. When you feel afraid, remember that fear is normal. When you face problems, remember that problems teach lessons. Step by step, progress appears. Napoleon Hill believed that success is not magic. It is direction plus action. A dream becomes stronger when it has a deadline. And your future becomes clearer when your goal has a date. That is the wisdom of Napoleon Hill. That is the lesson from a small mountain cabin in the mountains of Virginia. And that lesson can guide your life too. A goal is a dream with a deadline. Let us slow down and think more deeply about Napoleon Hill's main lesson. Why is a deadline so important? Imagine two people who both want to learn English. The first person says, I want to improve my English someday. The second person says, I will study English 30 minutes every day for 1 year. I will finish one book every 2 months. I will practice speaking every weekend. Which person is more likely to improve? The second person has a clear plan. The second person has a deadline. The second person has direction. Direction creates movement. Napoleon saw this again and again in his research. The people who achieved success did not wait for motivation. They created structure. Structure makes action easier. When you wake up and already know what to do, you do not waste time deciding. You begin. Napoleon also believed that writing goals is powerful. When you keep a goal only in your mind, it feels weak. But when you write it down, it becomes real. Writing creates commitment. Try this simple exercise. Write one goal on paper. Choose a clear date. Place the paper where you can see it every day. When you see your goal daily, your brain begins working toward it. You begin noticing opportunities. You begin thinking differently. You begin acting differently. Napoleon understood that the human mind is powerful. Thoughts influence actions. Actions influence results. He also believed that repetition builds belief. If you repeat a positive goal every day, your confidence slowly grows. For example, if you say every morning, I am improving my English every day. Your brain accepts this idea. Then you act in a way that supports it. Napoleon used this method himself. He repeated his goals often. He imagined his success clearly. He saw himself finishing his book. He saw people reading his ideas. Visualization helped him stay strong during difficult times. Let us look at another example. Imagine a young woman who wants to start a small business. If she says, maybe one day I will start, she may wait for years. But if she says, I will start my business next year. I will save money each month. I will learn about marketing this year, she begins building the future now. The deadline creates urgency. Napoleon also taught that fear is normal. Everyone feels fear. Fear of failure. Fear of criticism. Fear of losing money. Successful people are not fearless. They simply act despite fear. Fear becomes smaller when action becomes larger. If you wait for fear to disappear, you may wait forever. Napoleon also believed in patience. Sometimes people set a goal with a deadline but expect results too quickly. Real growth takes time. Think about learning a language. You do not become fluent in 1 week. You practice daily. You make mistakes. You improve slowly. After many months, you notice big progress. The same is true for money, health, skills, and career. Consistency is stronger than speed. Napoleon's life showed this clearly. He did not study success for 1 year. He studied it for more than 20 years. He did not write his book quickly. He organized his ideas carefully. He did not become successful overnight. He built success step by step. He also experienced mistakes. Some of his business projects failed. Some partnerships did not work well. Some people criticized his ideas. But he did not stop. Each difficulty made him stronger. He believed temporary defeat is not final failure. Temporary defeat teaches lessons. If you fail an exam, you can study differently next time. If your savings plan fails, you can adjust your budget. If your business idea fails, you can improve your plan. Learning is growth. Napoleon also encouraged gratitude. He believed being thankful for small progress builds motivation. If you only focus on what you do not have, you feel discouraged. If you focus on small improvements, you feel encouraged. For example, if you are learning English and today you understand 5 new words, that is progress. Celebrate small victories. They lead to larger victories. Napoleon also believed in helping others. Success becomes more meaningful when you support others. If you learn something useful, share it. If you achieve a goal, encourage someone else. This creates a positive circle. As Napoleon grew older, he saw his ideas spreading across the world. Students used goal setting in school. Athletes trained with clear dates in mind. Business leaders created yearly plans. His simple sentence remained powerful. A goal is a dream with a deadline. Today, you may live far from the mountains of Virginia. You may have technology and internet. You may have more opportunities than Napoleon had as a child. But the basic rule has not changed. Clarity creates power. A clear goal gives direction. A deadline gives urgency. Daily action creates progress. If you look at your life today, ask yourself, what is one goal I truly want? Not 10 goals. Not 20 goals. Choose one clear goal. Write it down. Choose a date. Break it into small daily steps. Take action. When you feel tired, remember why you started. When you feel doubt, remember that progress takes time. When you feel fear, remember that courage means acting anyway. Napoleon Hill's story proves something important. You do not need a perfect beginning. He began in poverty. He lost his mother. He felt lost and angry. But he changed his thinking. He accepted a challenge. He studied success for many years. He built a new future. And you can build yours too. Your life may not change in one day, but it can change direction in one decision. That decision is this. Choose a goal. Set a deadline. Act daily. Step by step, you move forward. Step by step, confidence grows. Step by step, results appear. This is the simple wisdom of Napoleon Hill. From a small wooden cabin to influencing millions of people, his journey teaches us one lasting truth. A goal is a dream with a deadline. And when you understand this deeply, you hold a powerful tool for your own future.